If this video doesn't help you in any way, shape or form, you are cooked, you are beyond saving, because in this video, I will give you the A to Z from scratch, all the processes and systems that you need to start your successful paid community management agency. So getting into the video now, first things first is prioritizing value over money. We need to reshape the way we view business, the way we view client interactions. We need to start fixating on trying to provide value and trying to bring clients results. The money will come after. All the 10K a month, the 100K a month, all these buzzwords you hear, they'll come after, but you need to start prioritizing providing value and bringing clients results. So the more impact you have on your client's life, on your viewer's life, or whoever your audience may be, the more revenue you will generate, because it immediately gives worth to what you say, immediately gives value to what you say. So now, getting into the video, paid community management agency broken down into 5 main key components. The first being foundations, what skills you need to master. So the core basics. The offer, so what is your pitch? What are you actually promising your clients? Prospecting is actually finding the clients. What is your dream client look like? Onboarding, so we want to have a seamless onboarding process, introducing a newly signed client. And then the deliverables, what are you actually providing? How are you following through with your promises? Now, proof that this stuff works. Every influencer is moving towards creating a community. And the biggest example of that is Eddie Cumberbatch. Eddie Cumberbatch has 3 main traffic sources that he uses. And he has his long form content, which is his YouTube. And then he's got 2 other forms of short form, which is his TikTok and his Instagram. All of these funnel into 3 types of community. The first being his free community. So he has a community where it's for free to join. He posts content on there, maybe posts new videos, stuff like that, and he puts it onto his community. If you want more information, more exclusive content, then you go over to his low ticket community. So for a few dollars, you'll pay an extra fee on a monthly subscription and you get more access to his low ticket. Then that all funnels into his one-on-one consultation where he has a high ticket offer. I believe it's $8,000. So you have a one-on-one consultation. This is more personalized with Eddie. And across all 3 of these communities, all 3 of these strategies, he earns $400,000 a month, which is crazy. So that is just testament to this stuff actually working and how much money people are actually generating on a monthly basis. There's different people like maybe Hamza, maybe Caprice, Max Pearson, all making a lot of money using this strategy. So the first stepping stone into creating your own PCMA. These are the skills you need to master. So we have basic, intermediate, and advanced. In the basic, we need to understand the back end of how community platforms work. You've got different types. You've got Discord, Facebook, SKOOL. You also have Mighty Networks. You have Circle. There's different styles of community management platforms or community platforms, and we need to understand the back end. And some of that back end is how to keep people active and engaged. So the market is shifted and it's pivoted from trying to provide courses for people, but now they're trying to provide communities. Now they're trying to make a engaged place where people can ask questions, people get direct feedback, people can just have a quicker form of communication rather than courses. You dump information and you don't know if that person retained that information or he benefited off this. But in the community, you get access to quicker feedback. Intermediate, now it's stepping into making deals, signing clients, and actually outreaching to potential clients. And that all requires a level of sales. That all requires a level of sales understanding in calls, in meetings, and how to compose yourself and how to position yourself. Advanced, now we've understood the intermediate and the basic level. We want to start automation and we want to know how to systemize our work so we can then redistribute and reallocate our time effectively. In doing so, we cut a lot of time that was in monotonous processes, in redundant things. Now we can actually fixate on trying to move the needle forward rather than doing a lot of monotonous work. So now getting into your website structure. First off, you want to have a heading with a big claim. You want to entice the potential customer. You want to entice the potential client. Then you have the VSL, where it's explaining inside the video, you're explaining what it looks like, what you can expect, trying to wow them. And then CTA is to book a call. So a call to action for the client is to book a call with ourselves to understand more. Then you have case studies and social proof. That is to show that you actually have done this. You are actually vetted in the field that you're in. You can actually prove that your thing works. Then it's your process, how it works. So trying to explain what you're going to be providing for them, how this all looks like, and then a guarantee. So what they can expect to come of this, what are you actually promising? And in all of this, your main target audience is e-commerce brands, SaaS companies, and personal brands. These are the target audiences we see with the most active community. You'd expect them to actually be able to push out and want communities. So second part is the offer. The offer is broken down into two main parts. So you have the offer, the positioning and outcome, and then what are your deliverables. So the offer is, I am building an engaged community for your brand. So I'm actually an emphasis on engaged, by the way. You're not just building a community and then leaving it. You're building an engaged, active community for that specific personal brand. And then you're adding another source of income to that brand. And as we mentioned before, these sources of income aren't just 1 or 2K. These could be heaps and heaps of cash. So it's not just a extra dollar that you're adding to their bank. You're actually adding a lot of value and a lot of monthly recurring revenue to that personal brand. So creating a loyal fan base that will purchase your products. So that means when an e-commerce brand, when a SaaS company pushes out, or a personal brand pushes out a product of theirs, they have the full confidence that their fan base will back them and rave on about their products. Positioning. How do you want to position your offer? You want to position it as you're doing them a favor. You want to position it as them breaking free from the shackles of paid ads and dependency on external traffic sources. A lot of SaaS companies, a lot of e-commerce companies rely heavily on huge ad expenditure. They rely heavily on paid ads, and they depend heavily on external traffic sources. So when you're building them an evergreen traffic source, you're building them an internal traffic source for them to push out their products. That then increases their lifetime value. So into outcome, you're improving their lifetime value. Now they own their own traffic source. So it's not fluctuating based on if paid ads worked or didn't work. And they don't have to depend on paid ads. Then that paid ads are very expensive, by the way. For people that haven't ran paid ads are very, very expensive. And that then means there's a huge reduction in running costs. So the second part of the offer is the deliverables. What are you actually delivering? So deliverable number 1 is increasing the lifetime value by X% in 90 days. If we don't do that, then we work for free until we do. So you've promised them that we'll increase the lifetime value by X amount in 90 days. And if we don't, we'll just work for free. So for beginners and intermediate, so depending on what your place is, how confident you are, there's 2 types of people. You have a beginner. So a beginner can work on a commission-based or a revenue share. So whatever you make them, you get a percentage of. And that helps with building a testimonial portfolio. You get more confident, and then you start to build more clientele. And then intermediate, so someone that is done this before, is getting used to it now, can charge on a monthly retainer. And then you start to build and build. And as you build your way up, you get more confident with producing results. And then you can charge a higher retainer. So that also helps with building a testimonial portfolio. This all goes back to the first thing that I mentioned, which is prioritizing value over money. When you start to prioritize actually producing results for your clients, the money will then come after. Like I said, when you start to actually prioritize what you're bringing to your client, he will pay however you want, because he understands the value behind your work. Okay, deliverable number 2, Discord, Facebook, Circle, SKOOL, setup and management, optimization, gamification, moderation, scaling, and then eventually growing the community. because we're coming in as setting up their community, doing A to Z on how to manage it, how to optimize the community, the gamification, so maybe leaderboards, making the community engaged and active, the moderation, so a lot of self-promotion happens, a lot of things inside the community that just make the community kind of cold and soulless. We want to remove that. So we'll moderate the community for them. And then eventually, after everything's working, we'll scale the community and eventually grow the community for them. Deliverable number 3, help host live calls, get better content for the community. So helping host their live calls. A lot of communities have weekly live calls, monthly live calls, bi-weekly, however they like to do it. We'll help host the live calls, we'll help set up those live calls for them. Better content for the community. A lot of communities don't have graphics yet, especially if you're starting up their community from scratch. You help them with the graphics, give them advice, and then that gets into the bonus tip. But keeping members active, engaged, always goes back to keeping members active and engaged. This is a community. This isn't a course, by the way. So keeping the community as active as possible, because that reduces the churn rate of the community. People are less likely to leave. And then a bonus tip as an upsell, as a way to charge the client more. So as an upsell, you can actually pitch the idea of curation of content strategy. So you'll make them their personalized content strategy. So what does that actually mean? So a lot of community owners or a lot of people that want to start their communities have the fear that, okay, this all sounds all good, but how do I actually get people inside of our community? So we'll build them a content strategy based on that, the fact that we'll get people inside their community, we'll open up an organic traffic stream for them, build out a content strategy for them. We'll help build out their sales team, actually expand their sales team, improve their sales team so that they can upsell some of the people inside their community. Okay, prospecting. So prospecting is broken down into personal brand, which is preferably for us, Twitter, and then cold emailing. As we mentioned before, our target audience is e-commerce brands, SaaS, and personal brands. And where do you find most of these people? Mainly on Twitter. That doesn't negate Instagram. We found good feedback from Instagram, but Twitter, you see a sense of professionalism compared to, and it's a different community or different platform compared to Instagram. So the third element of the PCMA agency is prospecting. So it's broken down into 2 parts, personal branding and cold emails. So for personal branding, preferably Twitter, we want to post, which is 5 tweets a day, 4 long forms a week, and befriend 15 people. So what that does is boost our engagement, helps make a name for ourselves in the community. People start to know a bit more about us. So when we want to send DMs, when we want to pitch to people on DMs, they can actually see what we post. We don't look like a fake account. So send 10 DMs a day, and we'll get into DMs later. We want to post threads like this. We want to post tweets similar to this. So for instance, if I was X brand and then at the brand for social baiting, here's how I'd make my community more engaged to increase retention and lifetime value. So what this does is give a taste of what you can offer, give also a people an understanding of more about who you are, more about what you're trying to pitch, and just more information about yourself. And then it goes back to that idea that is value driven. People don't like being sold to, so you don't want to come off as being too salesy. And people like to learn and gain new information. So if you come up as someone that's just providing people value, then it's easier to pitch. And you want to come off as a specialist. You want to come off of someone that can actually So the third component of a PCMA agency is prospecting. So there's 2 parts, personal branding and cold email. I want you guys to follow this exact strategy. So you're going to post 5 tweets a day, 4 long forms a week, and befriend 15 people. This helps boost our engagement, helps make a name for ourselves inside the community. And I want you guys to send 10 DMs a day. 10 DMs a day, just that simple. And then also posting threads or tweets similar to this. If I want X brand, or if I was X brand and at the brand for social baiting, here's how I'd like to make my community more engaged to increase retention and lifetime value. So what this does is give people a taste of what you can offer, plus an understanding more about who you are, more about what you can offer people. And it goes back to the idea of being value driven. Also, people don't like to be sold to. So don't come off of someone that is being too salesy, or just provide value and people will come later. And people like to understand, people like to learn, people like to gain new information. You want to come off as someone that is very understanding in the field, a specialist in that field, so that people can actually trust what you're saying. If you guys want to learn more about Twitter growth, how to create a good personal brand, we've got more on that on Noble Creators. So the second component of prospecting is cold emailing. You want to send 10 to 15 personalized cold emails a day. Personalized. Not some spammy message. You want to come off with something that's actually making sense and is specific to that personal brand. Optimize the emails and outreach strategy. So constantly tweak and edit emails and different outreach strategies. Try and experiment different things. As a beginner, experimentation is a luxury. No one knows you. So why are you scared to come off as someone that doesn't understand, or it doesn't work? Or no, just experiment, try new things. And because no one knows you, you get the luxury of just trying new things, and people are going to forget anyway. So more on that on our Noble Creators templates, scripts, and our own cold email course. If you want to learn more about it, go over to Noble Creators. Let the games begin. This is where the fun happens. So we've done all of the things. We've done the first 3 components of a PCMA. Now it's on to onboarding. So this onboarding process is giving access and information to the newly signed client and the strategies. The moment they pay, you send the onboarding process. You want to send a questionnaire to understand more the current status of the business, the current status of the personal brand, what their community looks like, the setup, the goals, and the results as of now, their branding, their offer, and their target audience. We want to understand the current so that we can take them onto the journey of improving. Get access to their community platforms and management platforms so that you get access, you understand the back end on how that looks like, and then you invite them to Slack. Slack will be the place where you communicate to them, ask them questions, and just a quicker form of communication. And then you have to do research. This is very important. Go into the nitty gritty of how to improve their personal brand, how to create a community for them. Based on the learning from the questionnaire and your research, then create a community roadmap. So what does it look like for them? Personalized community roadmap, what you do A to Z. And then after you've done that, you've done the research, you've gained more information, you've learned more about their current situation, you book a kickoff call. So the call is designed to ask deeper questions, a better understanding of their brand and their goals, and then begin to explain to them the roadmap and what visions you have of their community, what visions you have of what you want to do for them. This is designed to give the person more confidence, to open up a stream of communication, make it easier for them, and to understand them better and their brand and their goals. So brilliant, the deliverables. What are we actually promising? What are we actually following through with? So we want to look at the low-hanging fruit. What are their weakest links? What are the weakest things of their community and their personal brand? And try to improve them. So the required systems of that, their current community setup, their community engagement, the moderation, and the content production. What does that all look like? Then community optimization, reading data, so analyzing what you have, hosting live calls, client onboarding, and communication. So these are the required systems of trying to set up a paid community management agency. And then the upsell offer deliverables. The sales team. You can actually employ setters within their community to actually upsell their community. So if they have a low ticket offer, a low ticket community, you can actually inside their community upsell people, upsell members in that low ticket to a higher ticket offer. And then, like we said previously, a content strategy. You can curate their own content strategy to help them gain more people, to help more people enter their community. So you're still unsure on how to start, you still don't know how to make sense of it all, you don't know how to actually implement. So I'm literally going to give you the A to Z on how to build your PCMA agency from scratch. I'll give you all the templates, the guides, all the information that you need in order to start. I'm not going to promise you 10K a month, I'm not going to promise you 100K a month, but I will promise that I'll get you your first paying PCMA client. So one of our students in our community was able to sign their client for $9K on a $750 month per basis retainer for 12 months. So literally this is working, this is inside our community.